Hey everyone and welcome back. It's the Dota 2 Asia Championships. We're in day number 3 of the group stages and we have made our way all the way down to heat number 7 of 8 today. And we got a matchup for you. It's going to be CDEC Gaming taking on Rave. So it should be a good time. I went ahead and we have swapped out Jenkins and I brought in a new co-caster by my side. We got David Blaze here. Good morning, my friend. How you feeling?
Feeling really good. Got a long night of sleep and was watching some awesome Dota earlier, so already pumped up for this game here. Of course, DAC has some issues along the lines with servers, so if you came here for like the complete uninterrupted games, then maybe you're in the wrong part of town. But still, it's going to be fun. I'm expecting some good things from these two teams. They are pretty well through their group stage matches, 9 games under their belts apiece, and yeah, we'll have to see how they close this one out. Obviously, Rave having a decent score advantage right now. I'm not sure if my numbers are updated fully. Looks, yeah, the HGT game was not updated for Rave, but they're looking really good, and they are already positive as far as their win-loss. They're opening with the Wisp once again.
Yeah, the Rave group has been something that many, I want to say, somewhat counted out coming into this. You know, kind of the same fence that they've been doing for like MVP Phoenix. Some considered MVP Phoenix to be doing the better of the two. With their recent kind of surge through Star Ladder, they had a slow start there, but then they kind of came back and made some big upsets. But Rave, man, they've been really doing a nice job. But you already said that these numbers might not be update. I'm seeing 5 and 4.
Yeah, I think it's 6 and 4 now since they did win over HGT.
Oh, that's even better for them. So they're looking damn good. And for the side of CDEC, at least on here, it says they are 3 and 6. So they certainly need a win here if they want to at least push themselves up, maybe tiebreaker area, or just to maybe get a decent seed and possibly the lower bracket. But even at that point, the struggle continues. Those are just best of ones. So anybody who can get themselves into a top spot would be ideal. So anyways, enough with that. Not banning out the Wisp has allowed them to quickly snag up, or not, yeah, snag it up. So with that, they follow up with the Slark, and CDEC, they still put a lot onto getting a hold of the Batrider first and foremost. So there you have it. Wisp and Slark to lead things in for Rave.
Yeah, high expectations here. Jo loves the Slark. Christy, of course, is very formidable on the Wisp. And in the last time they actually paired the Wisp and the Slark together, they actually went a Blink Rush on Wisp, which is something I've been trying a little bit. And it can work, but you have to like position yourself so carefully to really make the most of it. But I'm curious how they'll actually play it. For now, it's a good combo to deal with most drafts in general. Like, it's a good all-around combo to open with. But CDEC, they're going to answer back with a Batrider Naga, some initiation, some de-initiation, just trying to control when and where the fights happen. And depending on the Song of the Siren use, this could be a way to deal with the relocates.
We haven't seen a whole lot of Naga as of recent, and it is a pretty early snap of the Naga itself. And CDEC had already banned out the Warlock, one of the few who could have a number for Naga, regardless if she has a song or even BKB. But they go ahead and get rid of that one, and now they ban out the Brood as a potential off-lane option. Spirit Breaker, something else that Rave have kind of pulled out from time to time. It would be fun to go toe-to-toe again with the Wisp. I think they even did that in a match not too long ago. But to talk about what you said for the Wisp, because it's a hero I also enjoy, rushing the Blink Dagger, are you saying like even above like the early basics? Does he get the bottle first, or do you mean he's passing over like a possible Urn, Mech? Like, how soon is he getting the Blink Dagger normally?
I would say Urn of Shadows is like the only item that he goes before. Magic Stick, Magic Wand, and Urn, and that's it. And then he goes straight for the Blink Dagger, and obviously the bottle. You have to have the bottle for the laning phase. But yeah, he gets it before like any item that is over 1,000 gold. So yeah, that's pretty crazy in my mind. But I have tried it, but when I tried, it's like with a Juggernaut and a Crystal Maiden, like with these heals that you get from your team, and that means they have to kind of draft around that. Maybe they could go for the Dazzle for one of their heroes that's still in the pool, and that would be pretty good. For like AoE physical damage as well. But yeah, I'm not too sure. It's really interesting that they go for that route. Yeah, like I'm looking at his inventory, and he has nothing more than Wand, Urn, and Bottle. They were able to close out the game in 32 minutes. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how it plays itself out here. But I'm expecting maybe they'll look into the Bristleback once more, since they do have this first pick in phase 2.
Yeah, Bristleback for sure. There had been no ban onto Tiny also, but I don't know if Rave are a group to do with the Wisp Tiny as it is. Witch Doctor could be also a follow-up support that adds that extra bit of heal. Cass could work nicely with Naga and her pesky little illusions, could end up backfiring on her. But they also might need to consider, outside of the Wisp, who could be somewhat of a Batrider counter, maybe someone else who could be pretty snappy. Rubik has also been something that's been a go-to because you can easily snag up a Naga Song of the Siren if timed appropriately. We've seen it done before, so a lot of options still in the pool here for Rave. We can find out where they want to take it from here with this potential next pickup. Before they did this pick, though, they did also make sure they banned out the AA, because that would pretty much be the worst case scenario for someone like a Wisp. And of course they also banned the Ember Spirit, and it is going to be the Witch Doctor, so they get that heal and they get that cast.
Very interesting. Yeah, they still have the other two heroes from their last major draft here in the pool, the Viper and the Bristleback, and otherwise it's a mere draft. The Witch Doctor was their last pick last time. Now they're putting it even further forward, and I would assume that's because, of course, you have the potential to really control the fights a lot better with that short cooldown Death Ward ultimate, and the heal is really good, because if both heroes are within the radius of it, you get 2.5 times the amount of regen on the tethered target, and of course you get the standard amount on everybody else, and that's just a lot of value there as far as the Witch Doctor's sustainability. Beyond that, the Witch Doctor is really good because you can play a 5 position. Like, sometimes you like your Witch Doctor to farm intensively, get that Aghanim Scepter up, but in this case, like, the IO will be the one taking early farm, so he can get his basic items at the very least, and Witch Doctor can just play ward game. Observer wards, Sentry wards all over the map, and he'll be perfectly fine with just Boots of Speed for a while.
Reserve time.
So with that, they have their next pick. This could be the potential partnership with the Wisp, whether it be the Tiny, whether it be that Bristleback. We'll find out here momentarily. But during that meantime, CDEC did grab a hold of the Lion. There's the Spirit Breaker. Okay, so it is the Spirit Breaker Wisp. Kind of funky, fresh bits there. But okay, so I'm trying to recall. Do they run this as the off lane? Kind of like similar to, I know IX Mike used to love running the hell out of a Spirit Breaker during his days on Sneaky Nyx Assassins. Rave, do they kind of dip in that same barrel? I haven't had the opportunity to watch Rave actually running with the Spirit Breaker. I'm curious.
Yeah, I haven't seen it much in DAC, but prior to DAC, Rior played it a lot on the offlane, so it was a bit of a role swap there. As that's they move about Ninja Boogie, Rior, they move around as far as who's playing what at certain points in time. But Rior has been playing a lot of Spirit Breaker, and it looks like they've only picked it once or twice up. No, just once in the group stages here. So I'll look into that, but Rior so far has been playing a lot of Spirit Breaker, and I think what the idea here is that Io and Slark are going to be buddy-buddy for a while there. The Overcharge is actually really good for Slark because he can attack faster to build up more Essence Shift, and he needs that survivability that the Overcharge provides. It actually can give him up to 20% damage reduction, and Slark, he really only needs attack speed and durability to make his presence known. So yeah, they'll probably pair up quite a bit. The Spirit Breaker in the offlane role will be that initiator, and when you get a successful charge off, you can always relocate right on top of that. So I think there's a lot of value in that. But they are going to be up against the Thunder God's Wrath. They'll know when the Spirit Breaker is charging, and they'll probably look to at least pop a Lightning Bolt, if not a Hex off, to try to cancel that. I actually think it's going to be a hard game to be a Spirit Breaker here.
Yeah, they'll definitely have the map presence to find out exactly where the Spirit Breaker could be coming from. The extra burst potential certainly helps against the likes of this Wisp, certainly, and he is strength-based, and of course with Zeus passive, rather, it works very nicely. Slark might have to adjust his build a bit if he was dreaming of the day of maybe going with more of a Shadow Blade-oriented build. Zeus will also have his number on that front, so good potential right there with that kind of a grab, and well, we'll see. This is a lot of magic, though. I mean, you got Lion and Zeus on hand here. To round things out for Rave, if this could potentially be, I would imagine, as their mid laner, or unless, do you know if they would run with the Slark Wisp in the mid lane setup? They probably keep that in the safe lane, I would imagine, right?
Jo definitely prefers the safe lane. I think it's possible to go mid lane with that, because IO benefits so much from Bottle. It really depends on the matchup. I guess if you're up against a Zeus, you can 2v1 that pretty hard, and the Slark would have a decent time there. But you'd have to pick up another core hero in the safe lane. I think they probably just want to go with the Viper here. Probably go Viper, Wisp in mid, the Slark, Witch Doctor safe lane, and then the Spirit Breaker in the off lane. I think that would be the most formidable combination.
We'll see if that's going to be the case. The final bans coming out, respected mid laners on both fronts. The Shadow Fiend, who'd been notoriously top pick up here for quite a while, made himself into the last ban. But yeah, it's going to be the Bristle, man. The man fight, the melee, absolutely intense on the more kind of tri-core lineup here between the Spirit Breaker, Bristleback, and Slark. A lot of man fight here coming out, so this is going to be real interesting. CDEC, look at this now. How do you round this out and really take it back to him?
That's a really tough question, to be honest with you. I mean, they have some good. So I feel like they did a really good job picking up the Lion and the Zeus. I think those two heroes are going to be able to control the early game decently, but I guess picking up an Axe here would not be too bad. Axe obviously has a lot of presence. We've seen it in plenty of games in the past, and getting the Bristleback to face a certain way, controlling the Slark of the Wisp a little bit, I think that would be really good. Axe is one of the best heroes to control the Slark alongside the Puck, and yeah, I would say either one of those two picks would probably be the best for them to try to fight in the mid game a little bit more effectively.
Mid lane Timbersaw. I know they already have the Bat Rider for the off lane. We could throw it back a bit. Timbersaw would have a heyday with Wisp, with Bristleback, with even Spirit Breaker, but it is going to be that Axe. Good call on that one. Somehow he's made his way all to the back and bitter end, and Axe, if you got a lot of man fight here on the side of Rave, Axe he's the president of the Fight Club, so he'll be there first and foremost. So here we go, Aggressive. What kind of a name to go with someone like Axe? The aggressive agrees. Anyways. CDEC versus Rave Gaming now. We're going to have this one at hand. Odds, well, I actually didn't have the moment to look here at Dota 2 Lounge, but I'll bring it up. I want to say it's got to be pretty dang close, but it is going to be, 52-48, so pretty much a coin flip's chance here. But looking at the draft, Blaze, who do you think is going to be a little bit stronger here?
You look at this draft and it's a Rave draft all around. Like, I believe CDEC has a lot of potential, but I don't know if they're really giving Mikasa the hero that he's most comfortable with. And I just feel like Rave, they really have drafted a lineup that is signature to them. Cast Witch Doctor, Chrissy Io, Ninja Boogie Slark. We've seen this a lot. And they might swap the Bristleback in the Slark. Like, the JO actually usually plays the other one, but okay, that's the only swap I see. But otherwise, like, no, I mean, this is still a pretty signature draft as far as Rave overall. This is the playstyle they like to run, and I think they're going to be a little bit more comfortable with it. It really depends on the Axe. I think there's still a lot of potential for Aggressive to make some waves, but overall, I would say Rave are pretty favored here.
Uh-oh.
I
could tell by even the pause in your voice for like, we're looking at a bit of a standstill here. So on the unfortunate hiccup we don't want to be having, but I agree with you 110%. This is a lineup that Rave are very comfortable with, feeling good with, and has already seen success. So with that, we'll kind of get this one underway here in hopes that things can continue going a bit butter smooth. I'll go ahead and lead things off on that side of Rave. We already have Chrissy and Jo hand in hand. Jo playing the Bristleback, Chrissy on the Wisp, or the EO if you will, trying to break down this cluster of trees. So this is going to be more of what looks like a mid lane oriented Wisp duo, and they can get the easy double stacks in and allow Jo potentially to farm those down really easily. Back in behind, it is going to be Ninja Boogie playing on that Slark. On the opposite side, Cask. He plays Witch Doctor. He plays it a whole lot. Can't have a Cask without the paralyzing Cask. And then also, it's going to be Rior finishing out your Rave lineup. He's going to be playing your Spirit Breaker.
Looking over at CDEC here, this is going to be your off-lane Bat Rider going boots first. So join up with its allies to try to contest the bounty rune here. This is Mikasa. Generally speaking, he plays mid, but getting involved here as an off-laner.
Oh boy, though, look at the Cask. Look at it go. Maybe does still go out in front. The Cask is already going to conclude, and Jo splits away. So it's not going to be your first blood. It secures the rune there for CDEC on the top, and it looks like Ninja Boogie gets his own there on the bottom.
And you got a freebie. Yeah, they committed so much to the top rune, and they do get it on the hero they wanted it. They get it on the Lion, and more importantly, the Wisp doesn't get it. So he's going to be waiting 100 or some odd gold before he's actually able to build up the bottle. But either way, the Slark gets his early start, and he's going to be in a 2v1 matchup against that Bat Rider. Now, looking over the mid lane, it's going to be Aggressive here as the Axe. Already 1 point in counter helix. If he manipulates the creep aggro, he can get a lot of spin damage on multiple targets. But anyways, he's going to be playing your solo mid. Up on the top lane, that leaves a support Zeus played by Q, a support Lion played by Garter, already Boots and Bounty under his belt, and then maybe he's going to be running that carry Naga.
So you already see Garter going to try to zone back as best as he can on Rior, who's got the Stout Shield build with 4 Tangos and even a Salve. So he's expecting to eat the damage. It's right there. He takes that Earth Spike and eats his tree. So he's just going to try to get his best to stay close enough to get the XP, while it looks like Q is going to be handling the creep duty. And for mid lane, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Normally Wisp, you can get comfortable, maybe do some zonage. You see him get a little pot shots in here and there, but on an Axe, it could prove to be a bit of a problem. You know, he could be too close, he'll be spinning, pushing the wave forward. I guess that could be to your benefit, but you got to be careful. If RNG's on his side and he's in your face, it could be a hard day for your Wisp.
Yep. Nice pulls coming in from the Witch Doctor too. He'll double that up if necessary, but he's got such a big stack that he probably won't need to for a while, and that's gonna make the Bat Rider have a relatively hard time. It's all about CDEC's Blink Dagger timing early on, and I just feel like the ability to charge as the Spirit Breaker to roam that early, it's just incomparable to the fact that it's gonna take 15 or some odd minutes for majority of the Blink Daggers to come out for CDEC. So I think that Rior might be able to gank and get a first blood on Axe 3v1 in a very short span of time. But for now, Aggressive, he's going to man up on the top bounty rune, and he will acquire it. This is actually a really bad start for Chrissy. Usually, Chrissy always claims the 0-minute rune as well as the 2-minute rune, and here they're not so confident.
Yeah, they can't really get out far at all, but here he'll wait. And he also does the early level into Spirits, not even the overcharge, since he doesn't have the bottle in due time. So with that, just tries to get out a little bit of extra damage. Deo also put the investment into the Viscous Nasal Goo early on. Try to slow Axe down in case he does want to go on a hot chase. But with that, oh, it's the first blood. It actually gets caught out, looks like on bottom lane, and it's going to be taking down the Bat Rider.
Yeah, the Slark Witch Doctor lane runs Maledict instead of Voodoo Restoration, although Voodoo Restoration, middle lane.
Yeah, they are going on Axe. The double stun is there, but they still get a hold of him. Jo could be in trouble. The Battle Hunger, okay, will be concluded. And Rior still diving. He wants to get Garter.
Ooh,
Does commit.
wow,
Long tether comes on through from Chrissy. Double Earth Spike, and they get the wisp.
Wow.
Big play from Garter, and he's able to walk away. What a turnaround.
She's hitting so manly. This maybe it doesn't suit Rave too well. They're taking a lot of damage here. In fact, the call will come out. This will mean Rior is taking a lot of damage. Doesn't take the tower aggro, fortunately, but will have to charge away. Taking a lot of hits, and Magic Stick, fortunately, will be available. And he will cancel the charge. But
this was waiting for him on the high ground just in case. But yeah, he will stop, and he uses that wand, even has the Tango or Salve if necessary.
So yeah, a very active exchange, 2-for-1 in favor of Rave in the end, and I think the big deal here is that the Bat Rider can't go back to the lane comfortably. Like, he actually rotated to mid, I think, just to deal with the fact that there were so many tower dives going on, but I doubt he's actually going to make his way down bottom until Slark goes into push mode. Right now, as it stands, he's not comfortable dealing with that matchup because if he ever gets in the range of the Paralyzing Cask, then he will get pounced and he will get maledicted and he will be feeding lives away. So more often than not, he can just get easy farm in the jungle. He's already got a double stack here from the courtesy of the Zeus, and I think Q is probably going to be stacking a couple more camps for him as the Bat Rider tries to recover.
Yeah, bringing down that Bat Rider early on certainly can do a number on you. So he'll fall back. It does forfeit the lane a little bit, and your Slark Ninja Boogie does benefit a lot from it. He already has 1K gold saved up, so it's a nice little head start for him. He's third in CS, 14 and 10, even putting together the denies. So no real surprise. Mikasa says, I got to get the hell out of there. So with that, your top CS, though, is going to be the Naga, who also has plenty of space. Maybe up here has just got all the wiggle room you could ask for. So we'll see if she kind of values going into the early Radiance investment or wants to get the fundamentals first, finishing out maybe the Aquila, and then we'll see about maybe having to do some drums or not.
Yeah, I don't think this is an Aquila drum game. I think that you need to catch up on farm as quickly as possible because the Slark is going to be going for Hannah Midas here. Ninja Boogie is going to have a completely free lane. He's going to have the Midas, and it's a lot harder to punish a Midas Slark than it is to punish a Radiance Naga because the Naga obviously has a lot more to build up, a lot more gold to accumulate, and Rave can start getting aggressive around the 8 to 9 minute mark and start punishing the Naga heavily. Forcing that first song means that you should be able to get a kill or two after those couple of minutes pass. And yeah, I would have to say that if he dilly-dallies for any other items, then he's going to be regretting his Radiance timing. It's going to be very delayed.
So obviously, if you can't tell, we are paused up on hold. It seems like for maybe the mouse is wrong is all we really know. I assume that means a configuration on the mouse itself is wrong. I don't know how you could start playing Dota and, oh wait, this isn't my mouse all of a sudden, but you know, sure enough, it's probably just a configuration thing that he's going to have to alt-tab and get figured out. But no surprise, pauses are the name of the game as far as it goes. So, well, nice little head start here. So with that, how long do you plant your Bristleback Wisp combo in this mid lane before you consider maybe venturing out and elsewhere? Do you have to wait till Chrissy manages to get a hold of the level 6 and the Precious relocate?
I think so. It's too obvious to just rotate a Bristleback out of the lane. Like, the second that he is let out of the lane, unless he's farming the jungle, it's going to be clear that he's making his move elsewhere, and you're just going to have everybody fall back, play defensively. As we've seen, Lion is an amazing hero dealing with tower dives, so you have to be really quick and have the element of surprise favoring you. I mean, I could see an opportunity where the Wisp could rotate away. He actually is picking up a TP scroll off the courier, or he had one a moment ago. Maybe he dropped it and gave it to somebody else. But I can see the Wisp rotating to help out another lane, but the Bristleback himself probably won't leave until the relocate comes up.
Yeah, probably the smart choice there. The Bracer probably going to go towards the drums there for JO, but they definitely can look to make it happen. And as far as global presence, I mean, they could be anywhere on the fly. I'm sure a lead-off charge coming out from Rior is just going to be the early platform into going right into the relocate, and then you could prove to have some trouble. That's where Zeus becomes really valuable here for CDEC, to make sure you kind of have those eyes out there and at the ready to know when trouble could be a brewing, especially when Rave goes missing off the map. And also being able to get a good time on not only your bat, but also your axe here.
There's a few really nice things about the Zeus, actually. Not only is the static field going to be very beneficial. Obviously, you mentioned the vision. That's huge. But the static field is going to help a lot because you are dealing with 2 or 3 heroes that get pretty tanky pretty fast, when that current percent-based HP damage is going to be very substantial. As well, the lightning bolt canceling charges is actually going to be breaking down the initiation of Spirit Breaker prior to 6. So yeah, it makes it a pretty hard time for him to lane, and Zeus is, like I mentioned, stacking for the Batrider. So overall, I think he's going to be able to get a lot done, despite being the hero that seems to be out of his element a little bit.
So with that, we're back and underway. Jo and Chrissy arm in arm, and Jo starts to dish out the early goo punishment without fear, because, well, Aggressive doesn't have a wand quite yet, or at least not planning on get one. So might be a smart choice here. I mean, Bristleback's one of the best on getting the free charges out there, and that could be a bit deceptive if they ever try to make that dive. But also, you're seeing the stacks continue to build up here for Chrissy. And with that, it's the 4-minute rune. So they'll head right up there and get a hold of the illusion rune, leaving the bounty at the bottom. Cask is trying to get there, but it looks like Guard is going to be there first.
Yep, so just going to be a clean pickup for him. But yeah, really, it's going to be about these mid-rotations, how quickly the Axe gets his Blink Dagger, how quickly the Wisp gets his 6. Because we know that all the cores are going to be getting jungle camps. Like we see Aggressive already making his move towards that previously mentioned stack camp. We're going to see the Bristleback do that around level 5, maybe level 7. And yeah, but the other thing is, of course, we know that the supports are going to be, or the hard carries are going to be farming quite extensively. Ninja Boogie should have his Midas here in about a minute's time, and maybe he is going to be stocking up a lot of gold from this point forward. So one thing I'm curious is if they're going to actually stack Ancients. Like, Cask is going to cover this hard camp, so I figured that Christy could be stacking Ancients right now, but he is just going to be supporting top since Rior could be vulnerable to a gank.
Yeah, he's stretched out pretty far forward here, and you've had Q kind of hiding about, but they almost went for the charge commitment there, but they pulled back, which might be the smart choice. Garter was right there and at the ready. He's already got the 2-1 build up here with between the Earth Spike and, of course, the Hex, but now they consider maybe a movement in, and they don't catch him. So he's going to be able to walk away from this one, and we're back to dead even here. 32-8 is still the head CS, and that's maybe. Your Naga continues to farm up very nicely, but you could say the same here for Ninja Boogie. So he makes the pounce and actually connects on Mikasa here, and he's going right into the Fireflight, though, so you cannot get too hasty. The stacks build up, and next thing you know, you're going to be roasted down.
Yeah, without the Witch Doctor there, that's not going to be a kill because he doesn't have the Boots Orb of Venom build. If he went for the Boots Orb of Venom build, you can very frequently get a solo kill on Slurk, but as it is, he doesn't even have a point in Essence Shift, which is like 19 extra damage per hit because of the Strength Steal. At least it's a temporary damage. It's not actually afflicting them with hit point damage, but it will take that strength away. Anyways, yeah, we do see it's an invisible Batrider maybe making his way over to the jungle. If he sees this stack as well as the hard camp stack, he probably knows about it, but if he's able to do something about that, that would be insane. But mid lane's where the fight's going to be at.
Yeah, Jo gets called in, brought down pretty low. Aggressive does have the ultimate, but can't quite get there on the marker. But here goes Mikasa with that haster. He's looking to fly up and get a hold of that Wisp, but they immediately split apart all over the place. Rave not allowing for any easy targets here. The second they see that bat, they're like, okay, we're done. We're done. We pull away. Looks like no one is going to get dropped, and we're all back to where we once started.
Yep. Good heals coming up from Christie there. The full bottle, of course, makes it pretty easy, but now Jo has enough mana and HP to just go ahead and farm up these Ancients. He is tread swapping for his Quill Spray. That's very important for him to get the amount of Quill Sprays he needs to farm efficiently, and yeah, he will be able to get a nice amount of gold, and more importantly, Christie getting the experience.
Certainly so. And with that, they pull back on away, and it's going to be easy breezy farm there for Jo. So he walks on out. Meanwhile, you can see a narrow escape right there from Ninja Boogie as Axe was on the hunt looking for him towards the bottom, and it looks like Axe is going to build forward towards the early Vanguard here. He's got the Ring of Health already picked up, so it might be just one step away from getting a hold of that precious Blink Dagger. Garter's going to take the time, though, to get his own solo farm mid. Getting a hold of that Finger of Death would certainly help against this kind of a lineup where you got these big beasts. You'll need the extra bit of burst.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised he's going for the Vanguard over the Blink. Obviously, durability is something that's important for Axe. Being able to jump in confidently is as important as being able to jump in at all. But because he has such a hard carry in maybe's Naga Siren, I feel like he needs to up his tempo a little bit. He needs to be able to say, okay, the Wisp is tethered very, very close to a Bristleback, and be able to taunt them both and make a fight happen on their terms. It's actually going to be a top rune skirmish, and it will be just a regen rune sitting and bottled. Christie going very low, and he will actually fall.
Yeah, he doesn't make it out. Here comes Rior charging on through, but he charges himself into trouble. It's going to be the lasso, and they do the song. They immediately rip out the song, but Axe jumps in and annihilates. And now it's going to be a quick, swift kill. Agressive with the double kill. Now has his sights onto Jo. And Jo looks to go back the other way. Meanwhile, on the way out, you can see Mikasa still very low. Very low. Pounce is not going to connect, but the Death Pact will. Actually, not even that is necessary. Ninja Boogie just stabs it on home. And it ends up being what looks like a 2-for-1 trade if you count the Wisp.
Yeah, so this is the first time Ninja Boogie leaves his lane. He rotates through and gets the kill, so it makes it worth it, and he'll just run with his Shadow Dance bonus movement speed down back to the bottom lane and start pushing. So in this sense, yeah, it's still more pressure for maybe to keep farming faster and faster and to get up there because, yeah, they don't have a song. They cannot, because they don't have a Blink Dagger, they use the song to initiate, which is fine, but now they can't do that for another several minutes, and it makes them extremely vulnerable in a whole map sense. Actually, some diving going on in the mid lane here, and if they had Voodoo Restoration, they could probably feel confident actually going under the tower once again, but now they need to wait out the bottle, which is going to be a 10-minute refill.
Yeah, a lot of Witch Doctors really put a lot of value in getting those 2 points into Maldic, it seems like, first, and then they'll probably step off and go a bit with the Voodoo Restoration. But with a lineup like this with Wisp, they certainly would love to have the extra bit of sustain. Yeah, Jo had been dancing in and out, forced Axe to go on the TP out, and then they did a swap in, and now Lion is back here once more trying to get some XP time for himself. Getting pretty close to that level 6 in that finger, but not quite there. Top lane, though, they're making it go on to Maybe. Maybe does not have that song, already used it in the skirmish earlier, so he needs some help, and the help comes in the form of Garter. He TPs up to the top lane, and it looks like they have to pull away. They can't get a hold of Maybe, and it looks like Maybe's going to be able to continue to farm here. She's got about 2k gold towards that relic.
Yep. Big thing, 10-minute rune spawn is going to Aggressive here. It's huge. If he picks this up, he'll just run out from this gank. There's no hard stuns to keep him locked down. He's actually considering going back in. There is no purge, so I guess he has kind of a god rune here as he goes for Christie. Will not get the call out of the tether, though, and Christie will be able to get out and escape. The tower dive. Are you serious, Aggressive? You're living up to your name, but I don't know if this is the right call.
It actually forces out the rotation from Cask, or at least he was planning on it, but now he is getting charged. So it's a good thing he did pull back, but both teams very timid, and then when it feels like it's just getting a bit too deep, they both pull back. First we see it there at the top lane with to try to do the commitment onto Maybe's Naga, and then mid back the other way. Aggressive with that haste rune. Seems very tempting to get a hold of that Wisp, but if you get a little too aggressive, any formulated pro team will just quickly rotate over and things go dramatic pretty damn fast.
So at this point in time, it's all about the jungle game. Jo needs to clear these stacks out ASAP, and then they can go for a relocate play. So they're actually, could they smoke Quill Spray that? I think that's possible, but I'm not sure if that's what they're intending to do. Maybe they're just looking to gank the Naga Siren. She's actually back at base and has her Songless Siren up, so probably just going to end up being a support kill on the Zeus.
Well, they have eyes on him. Smoke's there, Jo nearby. There's Chrissy. Wants to get this level 6. A kill here could certainly help out. There goes the charge and Q. Help! Someone TP, please. He's pinging it right now. And there goes the TP. Could it be too late, though? Jo shoots in, and the call comes out. Catches on both. Immediate dunk takes out Chrissy, and there we go. Aggressive, the bodyguard, shows up. Uh-oh, Q dancing in. Might have just went a little too far. Jo knows he might be done, so he takes a kill before he might reach his inevitable doom. Running, though. Keeps putting out the quills. He has the mana. It's going to be a long chase. Meanwhile, on the other side, he's seen maybe. This is there, but they finally catch up with him. Flame Break will stop his TP, and Aggressive gets another kill. He is now dominating, has his Vanguard, and 1,700 gold. He'll get his Blink Dagger pretty damn fast, and things will get scary.
Yeah, at this point, they're just going to go jungle. Like, we see Chrissy pinging out. He just is like, okay, screw it. We've stacked up your Ancients. We've stacked up your camps on the western side of the Radiant jungle. Let's just take that. The aggressive stance is not working because the Axe is quick to TP. And even without the Blink Dagger, you saw how easily he was set up for, like, a perfect call. Like, that call was impeccable, but it was really Rave that walked into it. I mean, you can see what color is TPing, and you know who that is. He's the Axe is TPing, and they still walked into the Radiance. Just because they were so hungry for the Zeus kill, but although they do get that kill, it comes at a cost, and now they just need to focus more on getting far for themselves. Cass will stack up the Ancients once more, but we do also have a smoke play down bottom, two very deadly heroes in the Batrider and Lion.
And one Ninja Boogie, it looks like, or that's what's on the agenda. He's going to park himself on the side, and on Rave also, Chrissy needs to get involved with these Ancient takedowns or something. He's got to get this level 6, got to get this relocate. Certainly that way they can do this farm and then still maybe get involved if something breaks out. But for now, Jo will soak in the damage. He gets the assistance from Chrissy in that bottle. And this is going to be a big surplus of gold. But we'll see here as Rior is going to head towards the top. Just looking to charge out an illusion. We look at the other side of things. Maybe has about 3,800 gold. He is on for really good timing for this Radiance on the Naga.
Bristleback could just die to Zeus right now, right? Like, this is dangerous territory to be fighting in. 225, like, when he was down to 190, that actually would have been potential death. But he has a cloak, so he has extra mitigation, and he just barely has the HP to survive it if it was cast now. Of course, Zeus doesn't have any reason to suspect that they're that low, because they did place a sentry ward, made sure that the Ancients weren't being warded. But it's still just towing that line, being in the danger zone. Either way, the Vanguard is now finished. HP is not going to be an issue when you have a casual cloak, treads, bracer, and Vanguard. And if Jo could start manning up and diving, and it's only going to be the Axe to stop him with that freshly acquired Blink Dagger.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's ready to go with Duncan. 4-1 before even having the Blink Dagger. That's a pretty phenomenal start for your Axe. So he is going to look to build up that snowball even further here. Ninja Boogie, who went with the Midas build up, a little bit more greedy, but taking it to late game build here, has the Shadow Amulet, and he's going to go down the road of getting a Shadow Blade. Even though they're going against the Zeus, he feels pretty confident about maybe going for some picks and being aggressive, but he might be the one in trouble. Here comes Batrider blinking on forward, and it's a small blink to show off Aggressive blink. He finishes it off with
relocate.
A nice dunk.
That's not going to work.
Relocate. This could be bad if they can't get it. But Chrissy's going to wait behind here,
oh, man.
and Aggressive's going to be in trouble. So Jo's able to slowly take him down. You got to untether, though. Oh, wow, good timing. He will untether the last second. They get that kill.
And they get the charge.
Boop.
Oh, he gets bashed in the base. He actually gets stunned in the fountain.
Finish.
The timing on that was just milliseconds there. But yeah, the one thing there, CDEC didn't really have the mana to retaliate. The Lion was focused on getting far mid lane, and now Garter picks up his Blink Dagger, but they do lose out on the Axe. Still, not the big thing is taking the fight away from Naga. As long as they're distracting from Maybe's farm, then they're going to be pretty happy about how this pans out. So yes, they do lose the Axe, but Naga's about to acquire the Radiance at a 1530 mark. That's just insane timing. Considering the potential aggression from Ray's lineup, I kind of feel like they failed in their overall objective of making sure that maybe didn't get out of control. They don't have great ways to control the illusions. Maybe that's why Cast maxed out his Paralyzing Cask instead of bothering with any points in his Restoration until level 8. I'm not too sure, but at the end of the day, this Naga Siren is going to get big very quickly unless they start dropping wards in her jungle.
And I feel like Rave are just going to, I don't want to say forget, but they're just going to have their hands full with the other CDEC members. You're talking now a blinking Axe, a blinking Batrider. They have their hands full.
Yeah, Garter picked up his blink too, so I mean they have so much potential initiation. They can take the fights whenever they want, and yeah, it's really going to be difficult. Like, the Bristleback can survive, but he isn't able to actually scare the Naga. Like, to stop a Naga from Song TPing out, you have to have a very long-range stun, which they have not drafted. You have to have some kind of hard disable, some big silence initiation, and they don't have any of that either. They just have a Shadow Blade. They literally can't kill the Naga this game. I actually think she might end this game with 0 deaths.
This is, yeah, I mean, it's not the most exciting game. If you're watching as a Naga and you're not a big Naga fan, but it's meticulous and it can get the job done. And in a game of Dota, that's what's most important. You got to get that win, and maybe he's happy to kind of take it into the promised land with the critical mass Naga build, if given the opportunity, and Rave are giving it to her. But that also goes to the credit of CDEC and the other 4 who have found their own way in their own wealth of farm. I mean, if you look at Q, who's probably supposed to be the most selfless one of supports, he's still got arcane boots, and he's happy to kind of still do the stacks and farm up. But here we go, Ninja Boogie making a debut of that Shadow Blade, does get the quick kill, relocate comes through, Aggressive gets a beautiful call, which catches with the song. At the same time, maybe CDEC are just like, let's not do this. They call a timeout, and they pull away.
Yeah, they actually Thunder got dressed during the 3-man song, so that was the lowest value Zeus ulti I've ever seen, but you know, end of the day, they just wanted to get out of the fight, and that's what they accomplished. It's going to be Shadow Blade down bottom, though. Good jumping onto Mikasa. Could definitely kill him here. Yeah,
hit,
the big
pounce.
first right click, and yep, down she goes.
Good delay for now.
And he'll blink, he'll just blink out. That's awesome. Okay. That is actually the best way to handle that situation. It really looked like he was going to die, but one hit, he will survive, and I guess you can thank the extra armor from the Tranquils for that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm looking for what's the value here. The value is the Tranquils for armor. So with that, that's more than enough. Bat gets away. It's a wasted opportunity, and now they go with a jump. Bam!
Nice play.
Headshot.
Pretty easy to run the numbers on how much damage you're going to deal, and, you know, of course, the Slark went for the squishiest build you can imagine. He's got a Magic Stick and Treads as his survivability tools.
Good stuff, good stuff. So CDEC looking real sharp right here. Jo now tries to find some far for himself top lane. Sees a lot of magic damage on the other side, and well, he's going to go ahead and grab a hood, probably go for the pipe here. So a lot of utility on your Bristleback, offering both what could be the Crimson Guard and then also the pipe here.
Yeah. They actually need both of those to be able to eliminate Maybe's damage. Essentially, the Radiance will be negated by the pipe for the time that the pipe is active, and then the Crimson Guard will make it so the illusions do absolutely no damage in terms of right-clicking. And if they can get those, then they could probably look to push, but right now I don't know if they have the momentum this game. Like, their net worth is actually not even beating Naga Siren before she got the Radiance, and now she has it.
Oh, they try to slow Naga down here, though. The rotation comes in, and they get her. Naga goes down. Needed another couple of seconds for the song. Chrissy, though, could still drop to the illusions and will. Even from the grave, maybe gets it done. Now you can see Riora could be under pressure here. Aggressive shows up. Can't quite get close enough for the dunk. Is too busy with his hands full on Jo. And the damage stacks up. Does get the dunk right there. And it looks like he's going to be able to run away with that extra move speed. Blinks out, walks out. CDEC lose 2. Rave lose 3. And it ends up being 10-8 with your new score. So a 3 for 2. CDEC come out on top, and well, that was a good head start there for Rave. Cask was waiting nearby in the woods, threw out the coconut, and it locked him in place long enough so Ninja Boogie could get in there, and it does get the Naga down, but Naga ends up getting a kill anyways with her illusions.
Yeah. So she will not go with the immaculate KDA. She will have a death to her name, but when she hits level 16, what you saw there won't be an issue. She'll actually have Song of Siren, so she'll be able to disengage on her terms instead of just being like 5 to 10 seconds off the cooldown when she needs it. But in either case, yeah, Jo will finish up the Crimson Guard first and foremost, and he does have the headdress for the pipe. So yeah, he's gonna pick up those 2 items. He essentially eliminates all the Naga's damage, but the one thing that CDEC can do is just disable him and not focus the Bristleback. He'll provide some good team-wide durability with the active components of his items, but overall the Slark is still pretty squishy, and if they could just keep like hexing and netting and lassoing the Bristleback, then they can just focus on killing the Slark, and that's going to be the priority for CDEC.
I feel like it's much easier to see what CDEC can do and how they can get it done, but if we talk about Rave here, it's just what is it we need to get done? I feel like Rior in the Spirit Breaker, it's felt a bit underwhelming at this point. I don't feel the threat, the global presence, he could be coming any moment and will die. Whereas the relocates, the big oomph. So Rave, they do pull out a smoke to get a bit aggressive here. And even with the aggressive ward vision they have on the side of the CDEC jungle, it just feels like they haven't had any opportunities to go for picks, but I guess they could certainly try. They cross paths with Agrees. They do get the pounce. They catch him out. Charge is going to come on through, but there's Mikasa able to catch him with the lasso. Pulls him back. Aggressive still alive for now. Tries to get off the spin. Will go down. And now Ninja Boogie hiding under the Shadow Dance to walk away. Meanwhile, Jo shows up hand in hand with Chrissy here, but they move on back. Maybe shows up. The song's going to pop out, catches the 3 of them, and Aggressive has the call ready. Catches all 3.
Oh
Huge Earth Spike. Dunk number 1. Turns back. Double kill for him. Jo may be a hard creature to chop down, but it's going to be a slow and painful death. And with that will be a 5-man takedown. CDEC will come out big. And it takes a lot of sweat, but they get it there.
That was absolutely insane. That call timing was 100% perfect. Like, that is practice. You can tell that they know. That's like better than a sacred arrow landing on a target via Song of the Siren. That was the perfect call. No chance to respond. And they just completely locked them down. All 3 taunted, all 3 killed off. And as I said, they just leave the Brosa back for last. They save them as their dessert, and they just take down their first and second course very early on. I actually like that the Lion just jumped the Witch Doctor immediately. He didn't cast a single spell in that fight because he just got burst down by this Lion who's already level 11.
Beautiful setup right there. Beautiful timing and convenience. Perfectly clumped up from that song, just made it all easy and beautiful symphony. So for that Rave, ooh, they're going to have to try to shake that one off. Ninja Boogie now going towards the top lane. It looks like he's going to be throwing together the early makings of a BKB. At least with the Ogre Glove already on hand. And, well, for Cask here, looks like an Agnums is for his future, I would imagine. Or unless he's going BKB himself, we'll see. But mid lane, though, that's where the charge is going to go out. Is Rave going back on the aggressive with the song down. They think they can make it go. Another double man stun, and they get the kill. Finger blast that one off. Spirit Breaker is going to be dropped. Jo still very tanky now with that pipe and Crimson Guard.
But honestly, the Lion could just mana drain him, and he will lose a lot of his potency in the fights. He does have 700, so Garter can't drain that fast, but it's still a very short cooldown spell, but they will let the tier 1 fall. They're not very comfortable with fighting with the Song of the Siren down, so they'll just spread the map, and you look at Maybe's illusions. He's taking the creep waves, he's taking the Radiant jungle, he's pushing the bottom lane while not even being there. Like, he's just being able to make the most of the map despite them not being able to fight at this time.
So with that, it's got to feel a bit heartbreaking here for Rave, having a struggle as it is against the 4 outside of Maybe. So for Naga, just going to have to be pushed out for now. Jo goes towards the bottom lane to get it back. He is the highest net worth right now for Rave as their true core farmer, but it's a lot of utility, not a whole lot of true damage.
Oh, he gets the illusion rune. He could actually get out of this if he does it perfectly. He has to tether back to his own illusion into the pit to TP, but he doesn't get it off in time. That's unfortunate. That was the only rune that could save him there, actually. The illusion rune has such potential with the Wisp, but yeah, it doesn't get the play.
Yor charges in towards the mid lane, so a Wisp does go down. CDEC continue to collect little by little here, even from the Rave side. And you still have your Blink and Lasso at the ready. Are they smoking up right now? There's no smoke in hand. Who's got it? You got it? I got it? The Courier's got it. All right, let's go. Blaze it up time, and they head towards the mid lane. Bat leading out the front, no surprises there. If any Rave members get caught out in the dark, which it could be Rior, if they cut to the left. Oh, it's going to be poor little Witch Doctor, but he doesn't want to use Lasso for that. That's just a flimsy little support. 1 dunk, 2 dunk, whatever it takes. Aggressive's going to get the kill right there. And Bat Rider's Firefly will end, so it's just another good support grab here for CDEC.
The one thing is they don't have a really good Roche lineup. Like, they actually, I mean, they have okay disables that can hex the Roche, but as far as actually killing it, the Naga is probably one of the slower carries to do so. So, and Zeus is not a good support in that regard either. So I guess they won't actually look at Roche as a major objective for them to take, and they'll just go ahead and keep doing their own thing. Just buy themselves the 30 extra seconds for Naga to become this huge nuisance. And yeah, the Bristleback, he has the pipe, the Crimson, he's farming up a little bit more, probably going for AC next, though a Heart could be an option.
Boom, boom, bang. Look at all these Ancients. Yummy, yummy. Look at the swell on up here. Take it past this Crimson Guard with about 2.2k when it's all finished up. Walks back and away. Chrissy is going to be throwing together that mechanism early on. But look who is taking away all of the Rave jungle. Pesky little Maybe here. All with that Radiance. Got the Manta complete in 2k gold. 16k net worth. 4k ahead of even the next closest net worth in Jo. Very, very tricky stuff.
I love this item pickup on the Axe. The Aghanim Scepter coming out at this early time. He's only like 500 experience away from getting the max Culling Blade, and then it's a 625 kill threshold. If you actually look at Slark's HP actually getting hexed, he'll watch it go down as he just gets zapped. They don't even need the finger, but they will pop it just in case the pipe came out in time.
Maybe getting charged. Already pops out the song, but they have taken down Ninja Boogie, but they want
They might be able to kill
redemption.
him.
Rior charges on forward,
Depends on
thinking they
the
make
call.
it go, but yeah, the call comes forward. Aggressive. He's going to show off that Agnum Scepter here momentarily. Bam! Chops up the cow like little minced meat beef. And Jo now, thinking he can do something about it, has to be careful. Chrissy far on the outside, has to relocate at the ready just in case. And they want to move forward.
They should be able to kill somebody else. They have a Blink Dagger. They could definitely go in, but they're not so confident without the Song of Siren, as I said before, and it looks like they're just going to play passive because they aren't really forced to do anything else. Like, maybe can BOT away, and he'll push down bottom. And that tower is actually practically dead just from the creeps. Like, the illusion and the creeps have been killing this bottom tier 2, and it's about to fall by the hands of Naga herself with the Manta style.
Here they go. Should be an easy nab. Slark's still out for 10 more seconds, and now the tier 2s begin to go down. And with that, CDEC, who already have pushed past the 10K net worth advantage, continue to just really double up here on Rave. 20 to 10 now. Garter already has his Plink, now has a Ghost Scepter. This is a very farmed up and wealthy support, just to give you an idea how well CDEC are doing from top to bottom here. Touching base with Batrider, who already has his Batrider tool belt and both the Blink Dagger and the Force Staff. He's got 1,600 gold here. Where do you take it from here for your Batrider? Do you get the potential BKB just to avoid any potential cast counter, or?
BKB is an okay option. I like Shiva's Guard personally in this situation, but I mean, he goes for a Ghost Scepter, which is another way to deal with the Slark while he's in his Shadow Dance. That's the thing, is like you don't want to be killed just by right-click down to a target you cannot see. The Axe has some control in that regard, the Naga too, but it's not 100% ideal. So he'll go for Ghost Scepter, probably turn this into E-Blade, so he can use it on other allies as well.
Here goes Ninja Boogie doing ninja things, scouting out under the Shadow Blade, even the smoke here. See if any CDEC members are nearby, but they're not. They're over on the other side here. Looks like maybe potentially get the heart. Oh my goodness. My goodness gracious, Naga, please.
And like, how do you deal with this at this point in the game? Like, you could stop her damage for a limited time frame up to 10 seconds with Jo's items, but you cannot kill her in that time frame because she's just so big and she has so many ways of getting out of a tough spot. Like, you have to get 8 or 9 Quill Spray stacks up just to have a chance at it. And even then, it's probably not enough.
Look out for a potential skirmish here at the top lane as Rave look to push on towards this tier 2. Bat leading out the front here, maybe seeing if he can get a position, but they have already on the way back and out. Maybe continues to hit them from behind. Your tier 2 in the mid lane now goes down. So that pesky Naga continues to just be a thorn in the Rave side at this point, and continues to amount more and more gold, not just for herself, but also for all of her comrades from those tower takedowns. So it's just continuing to be good here for CDEC. They control the tempo of this game. Rave have got to consider doing something. I don't know if they have to call it desperate, but they need to get out there and get something done.
I definitely agree. I mean, I think if the Slark had, I don't know, 2,000 more net worth, he might be able to really put something forward, go into like the Scotty, Abyssal Blade type thing. The Abyssal will be really good against the Naga Siren and maybe give them the chance to actually bring her down, but without that kind of itemization, they're waiting for a slow death. That's Naga Siren is going to continue to put out the pressure, spread the map, and continue to keep the waves pushed in. They're lucky if they'll get a tier 2 this game.
See it right here. Naga just goes top, puts out some Manta Illusions. Even Ninja Boogie's like, ugh, I don't want to deal with this too much. He's eating lots of damage just from them alone and has to walk away. And those are pretty durable illusions with that heart pickup. So now, CDEC actually cross the river here and look to scout out and see if any Rave members are nearby, and also go for a D-ward, courtesy of your Zeus. And I think they even have the gem, right? Yeah, they have a gem there on the Batrider. So they are just going to be able to slowly take all of the map back. This is your vision you're looking at now from Rave. They have one little flimsy ward over here, but they are otherwise completely in the dark.
Yep, so we're going to be seeing that attempt at the Witch Doctor Aghanim Scepter. I think that's probably the only thing that possibly keeps them in the game. The Witch Doctor ultimate does go bounce to illusions, so it could be kind of their super AoE clear in a way if they do get the Death Ward channel. But there are so many different ways to cancel it. Even if he got a BKB and an Aghanim Scepter, he could still be called or lassoed and ensnared. Like, they have 3 ways to cancel a BKB Aghanim's Witch Doctor. He's got to get like 2 Lincoln Spheres put on him to make that actually reliable. Like, otherwise he's just got to be like blinking into trees, and I don't even know. Like, I actually don't. I wish that was the way to get out of this rut that this game has become because the Naga Siren is just too overwhelming. But unless they start just executing and picking off and CDEC start throwing a little bit, it's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, just kind of casually do an accidental lasso on a creep, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
just a song that was a wrong hit of a hotkey. I mean, then at that point, maybe there'll be one less spell down, and Witchdoctor can get off a significant death ward, and they'll just maybe ignore the Wisp, and Bristle will go on a tear. But
Do you see that?
What was that? Was that a charge in and
Bristleback,
out?
Bristleback just got a Mjolnir, so that's his answer. We'll see if that's actually effective or not.
That's illusion clearing, I suppose, but he's going to need a lot more than that. Jo is going to eat up the paddle.
If he puts it on the Slark, then I actually will get a lot of bounces, like the proc from the active component. I don't think the proc from attacking will matter at all, but the static charge that you can put on Slark actually will. Like, he still doesn't have great attack speed.
Oh,
he's
man,
not
they're
hitting
looking
fast.
to get a hold of Ninja Boogie, who's trying to split push. Oh, they're going to grab him. He puts out the Pact already as well. Oh, he jumps in to get the instant Hex. Follow up finger. Oh, no chance for you, sir. He's just trying to relieve the pressure that's coming in from the other side, but he gets caught out. That was just quick rotation to the top lane to get a hold of him.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually going to be Axe to go for the Shiva's Guard that I was mentioning. The attack speed reduction really hurts Slark, and it's going to make it so Bristleback doesn't do anything as far as these Mjolnir procs. Like, he attacks twice a second. It's going to be significantly less than that when... Oh, wait, that's with overcharge. Never mind. He only has 0.64 seconds per attack, so... Yeah, he needs to build up even more. That's with a Mjolnir, with treads, and with overcharge, so that he can get 2 attacks per second, and that's okay, but it's still... It's not going to be able to deal with heart illusions.
Naga laughs at Bristle and how big and bristly he's supposed to be. He's sporting a nice 2,700 HP, and he's walking away with a 1K less. So it's hard when this lady over here has more gains than you do. So he's got to get the hell out of there. Maybe he's taking control of this lane. Chrissy's still waiting out nearby without a TP on hand. Or no, he does have a TP on hand, but he's going to just hold off for now, it looks like. There he will head back. But it's CDEC still well in control of this one as they move themselves back through the Rave base. And Jo will just continue to farm up. It's just feeling more or less of what we've seen a lot. And Rave just herded together like sheep inside their base. CDEC looking to go for the conclusion, or they could just slow siege it out with these Naga illusions.
Definitely. And for those that are watching Dota TV and not hearing one of us or the other, it's probably a server issue. Like, my mic is loud and clear, and I'm almost positive Dakota's is. So it is just one of those things where Perfect World has had a lot of issues rendering the audio, transcoding it, whatever. And in that case, we regrettably cannot give you the full commentary, but hopefully you can still get a pretty good half of it. And we'll see this game come to a pretty smooth close here. Slark still kind of lacking on his gold. Ultimate Orb is not going to bail him out of this one. And yeah, it's going to be really difficult. In fact, actually, that static charge that could go on the Slark, I don't even think is going to matter that much because the Diffusal Blade and the Naga. If she purges static charge, they have no AoE, period.
So now Naga feels comfortable enough, moves right into the high ground. Jo sees this, and they can kiss their tier 3 goodbye. Makes no problem for them. This is going to be just a slow execution if it's what CDEC want. Hold down Jo with that ensnare, and they just slowly go at these racks here. Can you just dunk a creep just for
get that movement speed boost?
Yeah, get that movement speed, baby. It's got the Agnums. It's already back up. Why not, right? Just that extra bit of blood splatter makes things dramatic. So now they go on the Rex. And really, Rave need to consider doing something. I don't know if they can even come back at this point if they're going to be down a Rax as well. Jo puts on the Mjolnir on himself. There we go. Rior's going to be charging in. Oh, they do miss the call. They missed the call. BKB's going to be popped. They look to focus down maybe. Maybe gets the song off. But the BKB is still active here. Rior's going to step off and away. Ninja Boogie looking to get in the mix, but they can't get a hold of him with the lasso. And CDEC, they're just going to get the hell out of there. They walk away still the big winners in this one. They don't lose anything, and they still get the tier 3, and they also get the at least the ranged Rex.
Yep, so that's going to be a nice cleanup for them. The melee Rex is actually really helpful for them. They get a lot of gold out of it. They get the momentum that they already kind of had with the illusions, and yeah, these super creeps will be doing some work. In the meantime, the gold they're getting, they'll put to use with a Yule Scepter on Garter soon, and that Shiva's Guard soon to be up on Impressive. I don't even know if they need to save for buyback here, because they just have so much insurance padding already.
So they'll have to wait it out. not much of a victory there for Rave. I suppose they don't lose both racks, if you want to look at the bright side of it. But here's a Grease. Oh, he misses that call too, unfortunately. Even on the Aviz, they're just kind of like, what was that noise? Well, let's get out of here.
Yeah, the Empowering Haste from the Spirit Break actually makes him insanely fast when it's active. And that's a nice way to kind of trick the Axe into thinking they're in one position or another.
So he jukes him, I guess. Breaks his ankles, and the call's not going to be there. CDEC are already swarming towards the top where the last outer tower is standing, about a half-life tier 2. Charge is there. Let's see what the game plan is for Rave. Rior is not going to commit. Pulls away instantly, and the tier 2 will go down. So CDEC, now they come in from the north here. Rave, it's round 2 as far as high ground defense. This time we'll see. Nice little extra move speed boost. Continue the dunkage here. I can hear it. And CDEC now are looking to execute. Here goes Rior. Does the charge. This time they're not going to jump in with the call. And it's Naga just continuing to hammer it into this tier 3. Jayo's got to do something. Runs in. Starts trying to get the quills. Draws the aggro. Clears out the creeps. Tier 3 though should fall here. Death Ward going to be dropped maybe.
Wow, that's a big kill.
My God.
Big.
Tell me what's happening because I just got DC'd.
Okay, well, they just killed the Naga. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. The Naga had the song, but they just kept on destroying her, bashing her, nether striking her, death warding her, everything they need to do to bring her down. She has buyback. There's no way they even push to tier 2s, but it's a moral victory right there, at least killing the fish lady once, because, yeah, that's probably the best they can hope for. But, yeah, they'll try. Everything else is just a pure disengage. Garter will blink out here. Yeah, CDEC don't lose anything but the Naga. She was kind of solo pushing a tier 3, and she did bring it down to 28 HP, but yeah, it's a Naga kill that didn't need to happen, a death that didn't need to occur for the side of CDEC, but it also doesn't take them out of the game in any way. I guess the Slark moves towards his next item, but he still doesn't even have the Scotty. He's about 800 gold off.
Alright, so he'll look to build it up. Apologies, folks. Obviously, I don't know what the hell happened there, but the server took a quick poop on me right at the most inconvenient moment, but obviously, just the Naga is going to be taken down there. CDEC just kind of slowly dancing forward, and they were really close to taking out that tier 3. It's still standing, at least for now, but here we go. CDEC, the Bash Brothers, if you will, the Blink Boys, with the bat and the axe here. Maybe hoping they can get a hold of a little bit of a minnow or anyone straggling nearby, but they don't. CDEC, though, it's funny how they don't really care to do Roche. You'd think that maybe with this opportunity they go back towards Roche and just get it done, you know?
Yeah. It's actually a decent time commitment for the Naga. She might do it now. Yeah, they are making... Okay, Garter's not. Everybody but Garter is making their way to the Roche pit. He wants to farm some wolves. But, yeah, it's just like maybe actually takes more time to farm, like, kill Roche than she takes to farm a jungle and a half. Like, it's actually... gold in terms of gold efficiency doesn't help her, but it does help her team. So, yeah, I agree that they probably should have done it a little bit ago since they've had complete map control, but... They also haven't really had that much incentive. Like, the Aegis actually probably isn't going to define the next fight. I usually, whenever I say that, it probably usually will and turn everything. But as it is, yeah, the Aegis will go to the Axe. He'll be a little bit more aggressive. But, yeah, either way, they just get some nice golden experience. And either way, they have complete map control. So, farm the jungle, farm the big neutrals, whatever, the Roche, whatever it may be. It all works out for them. And they do end up denying that 28 HP tier 3 up top.
So that goes down, and now Rave rally up, and I'm sure they're formulating some sort of game plan, or they know it. They smoke and spread. They want to make sure that when CDEC go poking in, they don't know where the hell they are. Oh, they're trying to come in from behind. Oh, ward has been planted. They're going to cross the ward. They're going to be popped and shown. J.O., this is going to be the ultra flank coming out. Rave, they make the move in. Q could be in trouble. And meanwhile, on the backhand side, Rior is going to get lassoed up. They take down the bat. Aggressive on the way out. His first Aegis could be popped. Witch Doctor does already go down in exchange. And now the Aegis and the return of the Axe. J.O.'s looking to step on back, but there's the jump in from Agrees with a second life. Big Earth Spike stun. Finger. Spirit Breaker goes down. Aggressive gets his mega kill. Yule's up on the Ninja Boogie. Double dunk comes out from him. And now a call on the J.O. But here comes Maybe. Chrissy. See you later. Triple dunk for him. And now J.O. Last up on the list for Rave. Making an ultra dunk. Aggressive gets it done. They call the GG CDEC finish this game.
Yeah, that was actually pretty insane. I actually got to say that Rave played that as best as they could. They had the Slurk on the back line. They had a really good control on the front line. They focused down the targets that weren't so tanky, the Zeus, the Bat Rider, even the Lion. And yeah, they put a lot of really great pressure out at the beginning of that fight. But it's the farm, it's the heroes. The draft didn't work out. We looked at it, we said, yes, Rave are more comfortable with this draft. But end of the day, the one thing they needed to accomplish in the first 15 minutes is to shut down the Naga, to pressure her, to charge her, to relocate on her, anything like that. And it just took them so long. The one time they did gank top, the Naga wasn't even there. She actually had just gone back to base. She had her Song of the Siren, and then she ended up TPing mid because they were ganking a Zeus up top and actually trading the Bristleback's life. So I guess it was just kind of a timing thing where the one time they really started rallying to go for the play that they needed to, it just didn't work out, and they had to fall back in their jungle, which gave Naga even more time to work with there. So, end of the day, it's an 802 GPM Naga Siren in a 41-minute game. What else is there to say? CDEC take a great win against Rave.
Props to them. Rave, they'll look to bounce back. Both these teams still well into the mix, and that's going to conclude things for our 7th heat. We got one more matchup to finish out the rest of today, and that next matchup will be IG taking on Big God. Should be a good one. That's going to be coming up next. I'm myself, KotLGuy. You can show your support by going to my Twitter and checking me out at KotLGuy. And, of course, my great co-caster joining me remotely is Mr. David Blaze. Check him out on his Twitter at BlazeCasting. More Dota coming up in just a moment.